Okay, welcome back to the studio space. So I tend to overthink things on occasion. I don't do it all the time, but when I do, it's kind of full force. Example I'm going to use right now. I set up this whole shot, kind of not exactly this shot that you're looking at, but a shot similar to this, using the 7D Mark II with the big old chonky battery. This lens that you're on, connected to the computer so I can monitor and record and adjust my settings and such. Did all that. It took me like 20-ish minutes to set up because I had to get my cable, I had to make some room, I had to move a light, I had to route this in to the computer. I made sure everything was up and running, blah, 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 blah. Didn't even use it, didn't like it. It was way too wide. I was basically this tiny person in this, what looks like a huge room on this lens, but it's really not that huge, it's a tiny room. So yeah, I scrapped that whole thing. It took like a 20-30 minute break from setting up to just get away because I was kind of frustrated with it. So like I was saying, I like go full force when I overthink things, which I try not to do a lot, but it happens to everyone. Some people, it happens a lot more. Some people happens a lot less, but happens regardless. Anyway, back to what I wanted to talk about. Overthinking things. Sometimes you might have a lens and it might be the kit lens, and that sometimes is, well, kind of today I had my camera with me and I just intended on shooting some video and, you know, getting a couple shots and stuff like that. Nothing important, nothing planned. So all I had was the M6, which we're on right now, well, M6 Mark II, and the 18-55 EF-M lens, which for me I think is like, I think we're going on like 7 or 8 years old or something like that. It's an old lens. It's the lens that came with my M, and the M came out. I got the M 6-ish months after it came out. That was a while back. Anyway, this is all I had. But a buddy of mine was downtown, and so I decided let's get a couple shots, or, you know, a few shots. I didn't have all the lenses I wanted, but I also didn't want to like not get any shots because I was downtown and I had my camera, and I can get some stuff done with this. I snuck this onto a shoot last week, a family portrait shoot, along with my my nice lenses because it was a job. But I snuck a few photos with this in because they wanted something like super wide, and I didn't bring my super wide because portraits. So I decided to throw this on and use it for work, and it turned out great. It wasn't the sharpest thing, but as soon as you export and you're doing like 300 DPI JPEGs at like 3000 pixels wide, you don't notice. Plus I can go in and sharpen a little bit if I need to, which I didn't necessarily have to because it was nice and bright, ISO 100, fast shutter speed. It was great. They loved them so much. I'm so happy because I was so nervous that I was using a kit lens on a pro shoot, which in case you wanted to know, you totally can. I've used the EFS 18-55 on a food shoot before, mainly because ISO 100, lots of light, have a bunch of flashes. They came out just fine, especially for what most people use nowadays. Granted, you're not going to blow it up on the side of a building or like a big side of a highway kind of banner, but for most uses, for most of my client stuff, oh yeah, more than enough. What was I saying? Oh yeah, kit lens. So yeah, I took a few kit lens shots. Since this is all I had, I didn't bring anything else. I just brought M6, this, and that's it. No intentions, no nothing, just hanging out with a buddy of mine downtown who's a bike messenger. He happened to be in full garb, ready to go. So I decided let's get some shots, and I ended up with 4 really good shots. I'm gonna put them up here and just kind of let them go through for a second. So overall, I'm gonna bring them up on my phone just so I'm not like just trying to remember everything off the top of my head, because that's impossible. I can't even remember like 5 minutes ago when I was trying to set all this crap up. But yeah, I'm looking off to the side, and that's what's going on. I'm not just like ignoring you. But the first one is that bunny hop one, which we were trying to get a few different ways. What happened was we ended up starting that shot with him kind of perpendicular with me, and when he would do the hop, just because of the way I was, the lens and where I was and the time of day, it just looked like he was on a different part of the road or a different part of the area we were at than actually in the air. So we kind of adjusted. I went lower and we switched spots, and I got lower. So it made it look like he was jumping a bit higher than he really was. Because he's in full garb. He has his bag, his heavy bag. The bike's brakeless. You can only go so high, you know? It's not fixed gear freestyle. It's a bike messenger bike, so shouldn't be popping tires while he is, on the job, so to speak. But yeah, that ended up pretty decent. Again, kit lens, not bad. The front was just a little bit out of focus, but I just dropped the filter on top, or I dropped the radio filter and sharpened it just a smidge, and for Instagram it's just fine. In fact, I can probably make a 13x19 print out of it. Like, well, you can't see, but some of the prints I have on the wall are 13x19, and were shot at lower res than that was, and they come out actually really good. So next shot is the wheelie in front of the red Pegasus, which took a while. It didn't take a while from like a setup standpoint. It took a while because it rotates very slowly, and so we only got a couple rounds before it started to turn, before it started to turn, and then we had to wait. So a couple practice shots, so on and so forth, and until it would come back around. And I didn't really want to wait another go around, so we kind of got it for the most part the second time. It took us a few tries with a bit of practice, but did eventually get it. It's not cropped exactly how I'd want it, but again, I only had the 18-55. If I would have had this lens with me, then yeah, I would have gotten the exact shot that I wanted. But I'm still very stoked and very happy with it. Kit lens. So the last two were kind of at the same spot, and one of them's for me, one of them I put on my business account, but I had him go down this dark kind of tunnel. It's just a small tunnel in the parking garage area, and when he'd come out, he would either roll past me or he would do a skid stop. Then the first time I got him like right on the line, he was like perfectly centered on the line as he was coming through, and the kit lens and the camera focused pretty spot on. They did a pretty good job. Just a small amount off in the focus with the shot that I wanted. The couple before that were the ones that were in focus, and as I was trying to catch up, almost missed it completely, but it was enough for me to bring it back all in Lightroom and Lightroom Mobile. I just did these on my phone. I didn't want to like mess with getting all the hard drives out and all that stuff. So don't think you need to get the whole big rig out and do all that fun stuff, because you don't. You can be really impatient like I am and just throw them on your phone and do your standard slider actions and get it over with, because you got things to do. And then the very last one, which I'm kind of putting these in a series on my Instagram page, so 3 of them are going to go up probably within the next 24 hours here. But yeah, same overall shot, going down the tunnel, coming out and timing that skid stop kind of with that turn as best as I can, again with the kit lens. So if you're thinking, I don't have big fancy gear, I don't have big chonky looking camera, I don't have this, I don't have that, blah 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 blah. No, you don't need it. Does it help? Yes, it helps a lot, but you don't need it. The things that will make up for higher end gear is time, patience, and creativity. But as far as getting a shot goes, yeah, you can get it with just tiny mirrorless camera and a kit lens, and a very old kit lens. I looked up the price for this, and you can buy them used $73 to $100 just for this. So get out there, get shooting, do something just do something. Create something right now. Go out and create something. If you can't go out, just do it inside. This is not much of an excuse other than, you know, you're just tired or you're making yourself not want to be out there. With that said, yeah, that's it. I don't have any kind of moral or anything like that. It's just I wanted to talk about using the kit lens and how I kind of snuck it onto a pro shoot earlier, well, last week now, and how that's okay. I wouldn't recommend it only be that lens if you're doing a pro shoot, but I mean, you really could honestly get away with it if you know what you're doing. Might take some time, but you can get away with it. Okay. Quick video, nothing special. I just wanted to jump in and kind of tell you about that right now because I was thoroughly impressed with the kit lens and I wasn't expecting to get anything, you know, great. But I ended up with some really, really fun shots and I will probably go out and do it again. Maybe we'll take both and see how they both behave. Because I honestly think this one's a little bit faster and a little bit better focusing wise than the EF-M mount 1855. But yeah, now I'm just rambling. So we're gonna go. I'll be back soon. I will try to go out and film something because that was the intention today, but I just ended up shooting because that was fun. All right, like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I will see you hopefully pretty soon. Okay, bye.